really hard. Just like try harder.
Jem, can you hook this one up?
Yeah.
Thanks, mate.
They'll think you're faking.
Create a public
Yes,
post.
how it feels.
Facey.
My internet isn't connecting. Did it change?
Oh yeah, we got a new box.
Oh.
I'll give you the new code.
We got a new box.
Mine at home went mad the other day, and I spent an hour on the helpline,
Yeah.
and it basically had forgotten the password, and then so I had to reset it. So it's kind of weird, but it took ages.
Yeah.
I'm kind of weird and I take ages.
To do what?
That would be telling you.
Oh, Cowboy's got a head up. It looks quite nice in the face. Eh?
Post.
Oh, what a beauty. Aren't you?
Hi everyone. Sorry, just optimising the stuff. Oh, turn me down. I need to turn this up, don't I?
Right, I got you.
I gotcha.
Got your stuff done.
Got my stuff done. Oh, who's tickling my butt?
It was me.
It was this wire. Hi everyone. Red Pawsey's in the house. She's got a cold today, so she'll mostly have a handkerchief in her
I'm
face.
snotty, but I still want to see you people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't know Reb's channel, go and check her out. Reb Pawsey. That's all right. But she's good people. I'm telling you. How do I set this up good? We're all in.
Yes.
Oh, actually, that's a bit.
Oh yeah. Do you have the internet?
Let's get this a bit more.
I just realised it's on my phone, so
Oh.
I think we might have a photo of the code on his phone.
Yeah.
You know, yep.
Can someone nip the camera good? That's bad. We just got to get this a good angle. It's all a bit delicate.
Yeah.
So I have to fall
It's a bit
out.
on the wonk.
There's like a jewel on the back, which means
Oh, you can take it out of the
Oh,
cable.
God.
You can't, can you?
no, you can't take
Is it
it
that
out.
one?
That'll do. What am I trying to do? Find the code for Rebel. Oh, we're the Rebel, yeah. How is everyone? Have you had a good day? I've been shooting a video for My Protein,
Nice.
no less.
Did you see my latest video?
I didn't yet. What is it?
It's from the livestock market save.
Ah,
Yeah, that was really good.
Whose
Good
video
day.
is it?
That was mine.
Oh,
Here you go,
nice,
Rebel.
when
Thank you.
Had the what's name?
Yeah, I think that's where
how
I
did
got
that
the
go?
code.
Has there been like arrests lately at events?
That was at Spalding.
Spalding.
It
That's
got out of control.
Lincolnshire. No, yeah,
It's
no,
somewhere.
it is somewhere. So what happened there?
That one, people got arrested for obstructing the highway for standing in front of the trucks because the trucks weren't stopping.
Right.
So they stood in front of the trucks, and then the police got really aggy.
Yeah.
And they started giving dispersal orders, which is where they say, get off the property.
Yeah.
If you don't, we'll arrest you. So some people got arrested, but
Right.
it was all fine. They were out the same day.
It was something and nothing. Right. Who's in the house? Soralela.
Hello.
Soralela. Not sure how I say that. Welcome back. Nice to have you, Hunt. Rosa Jacoby, me and my sister went to our first Cube of Truth on Saturday. Hello, by the way.
Amazing.
P.S. Please say hello to my sister Millie. Ready, everyone?
Yep.
Hi, Millie.
Hi, Millie.
Gemma's under the weather too.
Yeah.
What's that? You like my handsome new T-shirt? Link in the description. Give it a right. Oh, and Purple Piplup is
The
here.
one and only.
She's the best one.
Nice.
She's the best penguin-shaped person.
Oh, yeah.
little purple penguin.
Yeah.
Adi Van Niekerk. Hello. Whereabouts is everyone in the world? I see there's a couple of newbies today. Are you vegan, folks? What is the vegan scene like where you are? And Steve-O, Gemma doesn't look very well. Wish her better.
Oh, thank you.
I wish you were better,
Gemmy.
so you could make more snacks for me.
Can anyone tell me if this is vegan? I just found it in the cupboard, and I'm sort of desperate enough to have something I never have for
I should think
medications
so.
But I feel awful.
Phenylalanine hard. This all looks like just chemical based.
Just paracetamol and stuff, isn't it? Maybe a bit of lemon.
Just don't add honey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bit of maple syrup. Vegan Kestrel. Hi guys, no question you asked Derek the other day. Derek Simnet. Do you mean on his video? Or do you mean when he was on my video? But that wasn't the other day, so I'm going to say the former. Your face slightly more.
Okay.
You look like a little slug.
I am a little slug.
Oh.
Where
are you?
That one.
Sorry, Lala. Before too many people come here, I'd like to ask Gemma for a favour. I suffer from hypothyroidism. Okay, so that, does not help things, does it? No, she got better with Hashimoto's. Could she make a video, please?
Oh.
You've got a couple of videos on your sort of health.
Yeah, but I put them all to private because of my course.
But we did some on here as well in early days.
Oh, yeah, I have done.
If you search the channel, there will be something somewhere.
Should I just briefly say any main things?
Yeah, go on. It's quite a common thing, hypothyroid.
Yeah.
I think it's probably nutritional for a lot of people.
Yeah. So make sure you've got a good iodine source. That could just be what causes some people hypothyroidism.
Thyroid hormones actually made out of iodine. T4 is 4 iodine molecules. Molecules stuck together.
Yeah.
So seaweed, 1.5 to 2 nori sheets, half a teaspoon of dulsor ramo flakes. You have to find out the dose of other seaweeds, but it's 150 micrograms is the RDA.
Yeah, or you get yourself some Lugol's iodine solution and be consistent with it. That's the main thing, because it will make your thyroid improve. So if you have it some days and not others, you'll be a bit hit and miss with how you feel. So definitely be consistent. And your thyroid to run properly, your adrenals also need to be functioning properly. And often when your thyroid's not working very well, your adrenals pick up the slack for a little while. This is what I heard anyway. So you need to help your adrenals by cutting out caffeine, getting enough sleep, cutting out stress, all those kinds of things. And then they can get better, and then they support your thyroid. Do they help the thyroid hormones to get in the cells or something? Something from your adrenals? Cortisol? So yeah,
cortisol is what shuttles thyroid hormones from the bloodstream into the target tissues. Much like insulin and carbohydrate.
Everything in your body is such a delicate balance. So it's just about getting your body to be functioning at its best. So I've been doing a whole foods plant-based diet for a few years now, and that has really helped. Every year I continue to get a bit better and a bit better. I've got a cold at the minute, but I don't think that's related to Hashimoto's. I get better all the time. I still say, I have my bad days and my bad times, but compared to a few years ago, I've really come a long way. What else have I specifically? I stopped working in jobs that made me feel stressed. That was really important for me.
Licorice root to heal your adrenals, have you said that?
Yeah, that's the only thing I'd recommend for adrenals, really, is licorice root extract or licorice root tea. It's really good. Don't overdo things like exercise. Exercise is really important, but don't go mad and overdo it. Just be gentle on yourself while you're recovering. And I've still got high antibodies, I think. Doctors tell me that they'll always be that way. You'll never have normal antibodies again. But you can certainly make your body function a lot better. Some people say you can reverse that and have normal levels again, but I don't think I have. Yeah, mine is still high, I think. In the UK, they only test it once and then they say, we don't need to test it anymore because it'll stay high forever. And
what they think is you can't reverse things once you've gone, but type 2 diabetes, they say you can't reverse that. You can, because my clients have done it.
Yeah.
So, and today I had someone in my office talking about the doctor was saying, your white blood cell count is low.
Yeah.
But the white blood cell count is low because she's vegan and she's not eating endotoxin, so her is actually pretty much optimal. It's nearer 3 rather than over 4.
Yeah.
But they say normal. I want to say usual for people who eat for a sick population who are eating wrong and are sick.
Yeah.
We don't need to have acute inflammation all the time.
Yeah.
So that's something.
One more thing I remembered: have a couple of selenium nuts. I was gonna say
Selenium nuts.
my brain's not working.
It's that goddamn selenium. Get in the shop, woman. You're just
have
half a head.
have a couple of Brazil nuts every day to get enough selenium. That's really important.
Nice.
And eat the rainbow colours. My brain's not really functioning very well today, so if you have any other questions or things you want to say, message me and
There.
I'll think about it more.
Well, you know, my girlfriend's gone stupid. Amy's in the house. Hey, Amy. Amy sent me a lovely. A box of birthday treats for my birthday
no way.
next week. She's lovely.
That's really kind.
Hope you get well soon.
I need to go check on the spuds.
Oh, the
Did you eat your
potatoes.
snack up or not?
Yeah. Let's stagger the snacks. So
Stagger snack.
I'll eat after you guys if you want.
Okay.
If you're going to eat soon.
Yeah, but you'll get jealous.
Yeah, I'll have food envy. I pigs out on my protein supplements at the gym, so I can wait a bit.
Tasty.
Yeah, Amy. Hope you get well soon. Not too sure if it was tested on animals or anything. Yeah, potentially. Rosa, what do you think about the Animal Liberation Front, direct action, and would you ever rescue an animal? I would be well up for that, to be honest.
It's so courageous.
I wouldn't want to get arrested because I feel like if I'm in prison, my ability to turn people vegan will be vastly restricted. But I would be well up for that.
I think it's difficult, isn't it? Because we promote the love-based approach, don't we? Like, for example... Off we go.
That's all gone wrong.
Hang on. Is it okay? I don't know.
Whoa. Oh, turn it the other way up.
The other way. What did you
let me
call this?
sort the tripod out first.
The Joby.
The Joby's gone crazy.
Yeah, as I was saying, like, with the slaughterhouse saves, we're very much about the love-based approach, you know, not showing aggression towards the truck drivers or the slaughterhouse workers, peaceful protest, to get awareness out there. You know, that's why they give us these agreements that we can film the animals. Whereas, you know, we would love to storm the places, wouldn't we? But is it practical? I don't know. Is it...
Probably not.
You know...
It's really the supply... the demand end that we
yeah,
need to
so you've got to change the change the mindset of the consumer. I don't know what I'm doing.
Let me do that.
Thank you.
That's these stupid flower things on the back of that.
Oh yeah, yeah. So
here we go.
I think.
Oh, the volume's better. That's good.
There is, you know, that obviously we would like to do that, and I don't know. Maybe it will go more towards that way once, because sometimes the truck drivers, they're going back on the agreements. They're having the shutters down, so you can't see the chickens and stuff like that. And activists, we're going to get frustrated. Once
we reach critical mass and there's more vegans than non-vegans, then we can probably afford to be a little bit more sort of forceful.
Definitely.
Oh, turn the volume up.
Oh.
Ah.
God's sake.
See, that's the trouble. The volume button is there. I think that does affect...
Yeah, sure.
Something.
But I think wherever an animal's life can be saved by direct action, that's obviously a win for that animal. You know, and good on the activists for putting themselves on the line to do it.
Yeah, bless them.
Yeah.
What's James Aspie is doing like a sort of hunger strike type thing, isn't he, at the minute?
Yes.
Bless him. He's good people.
He's lovely.
Is it good?
Good question.
Good question,
What's
yes.
next?
Adam, greetings, Earthlings.
Hey.
Eric Yam, what is the most caffeine you've ever taken in one day? I've got really naughty on caffeine. I'm now kind of weaning off again.
Yeah, me too. Like, I did go through a phase of insomnia, so I was having to have coffee at work. But I've tapered it down now that I've sorted my sleep out. But so no more than like a cup a day.
Oh, coffee?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I've got really naughty on the odd caffeine tablets. So,
yeah.
Yeah,
is
loads.
that to give you energy or to like?
Just so I can live.
Is it?
Yeah. You know, you just like knacker your adrenals, and then you kind of need some just to be like normal.
True.
You're better off without it.
Mm. You don't even get the buzz off.
No, you don't. What's the most I've taken? Probably like a strip of Pro Plus. So
yeah. What's
that? About 12 times 50, 600 milligrams.
Yeah. Hello. Oh my lord! Look at this.
Oh, I've got food
That
envy.
looks so beautiful. I told you would. Mukbang.
You
Look
can
at
have
these.
that if you
Bang.
want. I have got the potatoes are there for you, and
Sweet potato spuds with guacamole and salad.
I've used all the.
No, I'll eat my food that I need eating anyway.
Thank you. This looks great.
Thanks.
We're gonna get messy. I hope I can taste it as well because I've got a cold as well.
Yeah.
And it's just that sucks when your taste buds go.
Yeah.
Sorry you aren't well, Gemma. Take care of yourself from Cathy Grant.
Oh, thanks.
Unep 72 is watching from Northern Canada. Hello, my friend. Thanks for joining. Prince Fansabom
So royal.
with his regal posterior.
Yeah.
Full of disease and poorly. Everyone's sick.
You're ill as well. What's happening to us?
Facility time. Maca for iodine? ? I don't know. Do you have a perspective? I've not heard about that. I don't really look into the sort of superfoods very much. Yeah, does anyone know? Is there iodine in maca? I'm interested. What are you doing?
If you mind.
Vegan Eyes. Hello, Hench from UK Midlands. Hello, my friend. So I'll get iodine. I just got a new book about the thyroid, and the author says it's all about nutrition. Of course, he says basically become vegan. What is the book called and the author? I'm interested.
Yeah.
Amy Ocado sells Lemsip in their vegan section, if that helps.
Nice. Thank you.
No. Oh, so the capsules are not vegetarian friendly.
Okay.
That's good to know. Thanks.
Yeah.
Amy. Oh, Alicia. So yeah, see, I was speaking to her earlier in real life. Hi, lovely. How are you?
She a Norwich lass.
She's a Norwich lass.
Hello.
She's a vegan lady.
Lovely.
My doctor told me it was my normal and didn't seem fast. I think exam was telling me it was fine. Oh, sweet. So that's all sorted. Very good. Veganised Brazil nuts give me headaches. Don't throw them at your head. Alicia's telling you to feel better. So Gemma, I'll send the link of the book through Facebook.
Oh, thank you. That would be really kind.
Hull's imploring me to get arrested. You not
to
told
go
me
on.
that I'm bald today. I need my bald report.
Oh.
DB saying camera wrecked, very possibly. Alicia, can you get too much folate, or is it okay in whole food form? So that's B vitamin, which is water soluble. So no, you cannot get too much. That is one of the what they call shortfall nutrients, where people are often low on that. So yeah, that's good to have that high. My ears exploded when the camera died.
Oh, sorry.
First name, last name, give it away. Video 3D, how are you guys today? I made my own roasted jalapeno avocado hummus.
Oh my lord.
Oh, that sounds good.
Sounds so good. I might do that.
We've got a sort of avocado chickpea smash
Yeah.
type of affair
Cool.
tonight.
It's good.
And I was at Subway before, and the server there corrected me on how to say jalapeno.
Did you say jalapeno?
I said jalapeno.
Oh, and he said it was jala.
She, but yes.
That's crazy.
She corrected me.
That's crazy. You need to.
I don't mind being corrected, but please be right if you're going to do that.
This is so bizarre.
The Stratfords in the house, what's up? DB saying, Tim, what's your vegan power level? 20. What's your vegan power level?
3.
Janet?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Out of what?
Doesn't mean it. It's just what you like.
You just make it up.
Oh.
This is a this is all just a simulation, so whatever you say goes, really.
Oh.
It's just artificial reality.
Meow meow.
What's the word I'm looking for?
AI?
AIs. Yeah, AI. No, it's not even that. Marlos Kok. Hi from the Netherlands. Just found your channel. It's great.
Oh.
Thank you, my friend.
Nice.
You're really kind. Feel free to subscribe and hit the bell notification so you're alerted to new uploads and live streams, such as like this is. I've been listening to too much Russell Brand, I think.
It's a good thing.
Oh, I heard him say that thing you keep saying today.
What?
foaming at the gams or whatever.
Foaming at the gams.
I heard them say it and I thought, that's where you got that from.
Yeah. Gemma, you're in the dark there.
Yeah.
Let me move over a touch. There you go. Now we're all in.
Okay then.
It's a brave new world. Paul, is there any need to take calcium supplements as well as spirulina? So supplements tend to do more harm than good. We really need the compounds in the whole food form with all the supporting cast, all the other compounds that help us to absorb, like balance. You know, you need things in balance, and nature has provided that in whole foods. And then we, in our, what we think is wisdom, we think, oh, like for instance, beta carotene seems to work well against cancer when we have a lot of carrots. So then we take out the beta carotene because we want to sell pills which make more money. And then there were 6 trials on beta carotene and cancer, and every single time it raised the risk of cancer in the supplemental form. So there's no need to supplement calcium. We just need to eat whole foods. So eat adequately. If it's all a bit new to you, get on Chronometer. Leafy greens are your friend, really, with calcium, although there is calcium in a lot of other things as well. I particularly promote a lot of spinach.
Pumpkin seeds, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Some fruits, like oranges, some of the dried fruits are really good. So I guess you're saying there's calcium in spirulina, is that what you're saying? And I don't really know, to be honest, but just eat whole foods, look on Chronometer, make sure you're getting like a gram of calcium a day, 100 milligrams, 1,000 milligrams, sorry, misspoke. But yeah, avoid supplements except for B12, D3, DHA if you want, I recommend it. And maybe iodine if you're not a fan of sea vegetables. Agar Queen is in the house. Matthew Elliott, love you guys. Veganism is on the rise. It sure is, and we love you.
So good.
It's really blowing up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
There's adverts now before videos on YouTube. You get vegan adverts.
You do. There's going to be the vegan cinema ad
Yes.
being launched. That's great.
Yeah.
Going to reach a lot of people.
What is your guys' perspective on this? So some people often tell me, "Oh, did you know there was a meat ad just before your video?"
Yeah.
I think, well, that's the best place for a meat ad because if you're playing it to a vegan audience, like that's a
They're
waste
not
of
gonna
like their
buy
money.
it, yeah.
Yeah,
It's weird, isn't
And
it?
they're sort of funding your activism.
They're funded me to tell people don't eat meat, it's killing you.
Yeah.
I like it. I think that's the best place for one.
Yeah.
Don't put it before like a meat-based channel. They might buy it.
Yeah.
Linz Howard is in the house. Nice to see you looking better, Gemma.
Thank you. Am I? I don't think I am. Thank you.
This is interesting. Amy's saying that 10 grams of maca equals 0.052 milligrams of iodine, so a third of the RDA.
On a lot of things, on like places like Chronometer, they don't even what am I trying to say?
List iodine.
Yeah, they don't list iodine because why is it? I've forgotten.
I don't know.
Oh.
Toff's in the house. I've lost where I was. Sorry.
Is iodine a water soluble vitamin?
That's a mineral.
So if if I say I was getting enough in my diet and then I supplemented, would I be alright, or am I going to die? That's what I'm trying to say.
What are you saying?
Don't die.
Can you overdose on it? Is that what you're trying to say? Yeah, you can overdose on iodine.
Oh.
Yeah. You don't want more than about 10 sheets of nori, I think, in a day.
Yeah.
Kelp is worth avoiding unless you have such a tiny amount because it is so high in iodine. So that's one sea vegetable. Hijiki as well is something with hijiki that is good to avoid it. I think it's contaminated. Oh, I think that might be another arsenic high plant food. I think that's what I read.
If you get too much iodine in your system, you would just go bonkers.
You'd go hyperthyroid, wouldn't you?
Yeah, literally, you could go mentally actually bonkers.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Happens to me if I get too much medication in me. I just mentally, I just can't function. I just go a bit mad. Yeah.
Mental. Matty 1K1. Paul, I've been vegan for about 4 months since watching your channel. Oh, that's nice.
That's amazing.
I found that my hair is thinning. I've read it's because of lack of iron. Your thoughts would be great. Genuine concern. So, you know, there's 1,000,001 vitamins and minerals and essential nutrients. And we say this does that and that does that. The truth is that we don't know the half of it, and they're all important in their own way, and they're all in the whole plant foods. You know, if your iron's low, well, you just need to be eating more of the iron-rich foods.
Sorry.
Vitamin C helps absorption. Teas and coffees. I think tannin. Is it tannins that sort of block absorption? One really bad thing for iron is dairy products. They really lower your iron.
Yeah.
So heme iron from blood is more available. Is more powerful than plant iron. However, it creates hydroxyl radicals, which are one of the worst oxygen-free radicals, which really damage us. And there's nothing like that comes with the plant iron to detoxify it, to extinguish the free radicals. Whereas with beans, which I have in place of like kind of meat protein, I emphasise a lot of beans. They have what do they have? Something that's really great against hydroxyl radicals. Oh. What is it? Oh, I've forgotten for a minute. Anyway, I'll come back to that. And I've gone really off track. What were we saying? Iron. Yeah. So there's no mechanism to get rid of excess iron, but what our body does is the small intestine shuts down how much it absorbs, except it only works about 1/5 as well in heme iron. So it's really easy to go overboard. So now we think like heart disease, certain cancers, which is why the World Health Organization is saying, one of the reasons they're saying red meat is a probable carcinogen. 2A, is it? Type 2A carcinogen? Or is it 2B?
2A.
2A. And what is it that detoxifies? Phytates. Oh. We used to think were bad for our health. Actually, they're really good for human health, and they detoxify hydroxyl radicals. And they're in the beans. They're not in the meat.
Noise.
But yeah, just have more iron. Oh, well, another thing that some people do wrong is to have a lot of antacids. We need strong stomach acid to be able to take the iron out of the foods. So that's another way you can go wrong. If you're eating a whole plant food, you shouldn't have problems where you need antacids. Sabrina Begum is eating pizza.
Ooh.
Nice.
Why does he want you to say that?
So Lewis Trudgian is saying, say on Vig, I'm not vegan, but I like to know more. I think that I remember this name because I met a Mark Trudgian recently where I did a speaking event, and he's become a Patreon. Ooh. And so I remember this name, and I think this person said on a video, I'm not vegan, but I like to know more. What would you like to know, young man? What would you like to know? Hi, Alex. Mr. Alex. Hi, everyone. Did you hear that a group of activists, including Earthing, had managed to save a turkey today and take it to a sanctuary after the lorry in crash?
Amazing.
That's the second crash I've heard of.
I heard of one. Let me tell the story.
Go.
I went on a date with this dude who's a recovery driver, and he was like, "Oh, I went to this like chicken crash." I was like, what, live chickens? Like a slaughterhouse truck? But it was when the chickens had been killed and chopped up, and the vans would take the meat to all the places. Yeah. So one of those had crashed and caught fire, and there was like 10, like, I don't know, tons of chicken all over the road. Wow. How disgusting is that? You know, and some ways, I mean, on the one hand you could say like, what a waste. But I mean, it's a waste anyway. But it does seem like a waste. Those chickens just died, like, for nothing. Yeah. Sucks. Why are all these trucks crashing? Like, I saw images, like, those poor turkeys in the crates. That must have been horrendous.
Yeah, it's horrible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can't think of anything worse. Veganised, what is your opinion on oxalating spinach? Do you eat it raw or cooked? So, nothing to worry about. Whole plant foods, again, are amazing. It can look like sometimes like certain compounds can cause ill health. For instance, there's a compound in garlic which is a mutagen. It damages DNA, which could lead to like cancers. However, so that's like reductionist science. You're looking at this one aspect of a whole plant food.
Yeah.
But the science is garlic is the most cancer protective produce there is. So, yeah, no, that's not anything to worry about. I eat baby leaf spinach. Is okay to eat raw, because the cellulose, like the sort of cell walls, are not too thick yet. So that's fine in a salad. However, like mature leaves, I would prefer to have that blended up in a smoothie or cooked, so you're breaking down the cellulose so you can absorb more of the nutrients. Yeah, but either way, it's all good. Lewis, what is the best vegan food? Just whole plant foods in general, you know. It's important to eat a range of things, so I'm not going to say like there's a best vegan food, but some of the best performing foods in terms of health are legumes, so chickpeas, split peas, lentils, and the different beans, whole grains, all the different vegetables, particularly greens, like they tend to be even higher in nutrients, but eat the rainbow. Fruits, obviously very good, particularly berries, very high in antioxidants. Nuts and seeds, particularly flax and chia seeds because they're high in the omega-3. Herbs and spices are amazing health promoting things. There's a compound curcumin in turmeric which kills cancer cells in 3 different ways. There's so much data on how healthy turmeric is, so I recommend that on the daily.
I'm going to make a video about magic tea.
Yeah.
Now,
tell
more. Me your opinion on it.
I'm interested.
I think it's pretty helpful.
You've got my interest.
So it's like...
Sell it to me.
I drink it when I've got a cold, like now it's so delicious. So you put a ball of stem ginger, chop it up, put it in the cup.
Brilliant.
Juice of half a lemon.
Brilliant.
A teaspoon of turmeric, a teaspoon of maple syrup and hot water. And it's like really golden and delicious. And
sounds like golden milk a bit.
Yeah.
I did a recipe video recently. Do you put a little black pepper in there?
Oh, I will now.
Oh yeah. So the piperin and black pepper gives us 2,000% more curcuminoids, which I was just talking about, in our bloodstream. So that's amazing. I learned recently that so you know our intestines, and we have the villi and the microvilli, and they basically pluck nutrients out of your bloodstream. Did you know piperin can grow your microvilli by 150%?
Cool.
So you're getting half as much nutrients again, potentially.
Lovely.
So that's amazing. Yeah, that sounds good, Rebel. I'll be up for a bit of that.
Nice.
Reb, do you want any more food?
Oh no. That was loads, thank you. Okay. That's really nice.
Will Decos. Hello, how did you learn so much about nutrition? Mostly nutritionfacts.org. Well, initially books, the China study, and then there's all the all the plant-based doctors, Esselstyn, Ornish, Barnard, who's that other guy? Garth Davis. There's a lot of really good books out there, but then really I found Nutrition Facts, and then so Dr. Michael Greger, and he's brought out the How Not to Die book, which I've listened to, the audio book, probably 300 times, I should think. Not even a word of a lie. Podcasts, the Plant Yourself podcast with Howard Jacobson, Rich Roll's podcast. Yeah, I'm just really interested in it, so I soak it all up. And then I did a nutrition diploma. That was rubbish. I learned nothing on there. Video man, what is the best way to eat an artichoke?
Oh.
Don't fry anything is my main advice.
On pizza?
Yeah.
Quite nice.
I've only ever really steamed it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Not eating many artichokes, but they are a very healthful plant.
Yeah, I never buy them.
Yeah. I've had them out of a can before, but canned stuff is never really that great. Yeah. Vegan Kestrel, do you rotate your B12 type or stick with the same? I'm currently using methylcobalamin. I stick with cyanocobalamin, which there is so much science on it, and it works really well. In one study, one man could not absorb methylcobalamin. So that's one time where B12 didn't actually work for someone. Oh. That's not happened with the cyanocobalamin. It's meant to be better, but all the sort of data on it is mostly the people really bigging it up, the people selling it, you know.
Classic. And
then you've got the hydroxycobalamin. Same thing, they're more expensive. We know the cyanocobalamin works. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Yep.
Do you want to get up in there?
Sure.
Felicia's in the house.
Hello. What are you ladies eating? You're making me hungry. Yeah, it's all gone. It was it was baked sweet potatoes with chickpea and avocado mushed on the top and salad. That sounds so appetizing. It was so delicious.
It's all in the spices, isn't it? I think Gemma puts in like cumin.
Yeah.
Black pepper.
You've got yours to come.
Yeah.
Yes, I recommend. Alright.
Should I go vegan gradually? This is an interesting question.
How gradually? What do you mean, like vegetarian first? I think going vegetarian first is something a lot of people do. It's what I did. Is it what you did?
No. In fact, I went 90, sort of, I'm 98% vegan.
Yeah.
But I kept in salmon because I thought we need the DHA.
Oh, yeah.
And I kept in like a grass-fed organic piece of dead animal.
That sounds so weird.
Because I just thought historically we have eaten animal products, so is there something in there which we do need?
Yeah. It's an interesting one, like, because obviously you're thinking about it from a bodybuilder's perspective.
Yeah, and health as well.
Yeah.
And health.
Whereas I think a lot of people go vegetarian because they love animals.
I think, yeah.
And they don't even know about veganism. But, like,
yeah.
So that can be a stepping stone for you, but I wouldn't encourage sticking at vegetarianism, obviously, if you're in it for the ethics, and also if you're in it for the health, don't stick at vegetarianism, right? Because dairy is no good. Dairy's probably worse,
if anything, than meat. And not only in terms of health, but also in terms of animal, like, suffering.
Yeah, definitely. Like, it's terrible. So, I mean, if it helps, you know, to cut out meat, first of all, maybe so you're not too overwhelmed, that's still good. But you do want to educate yourself on the ethics. And
I don't like to say this, but I suppose, like, if people do it sort of gradually, like, there's less chance that, you know, if you did everything all at once,
like change
there's a chance, like, that you find it too difficult and you go back, I suppose.
Yeah, it could.
Much as I don't want to say that.
And also, I think because I figure, like, a lot of people are scared to go vegan because they think they're going to be missing out.
Yeah.
They think they'll be resenting it all the time, but obviously that's not the case. So yeah, if you actually educate yourself on the fundamentals of veganism, you get to that place where you don't want to go back because it's actually amazing being vegan.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, like, do it slowly if you want to, you know, use up products that are in your house. That's another thing to consider.
One other thing which I've considered lately is, because obviously I promote a whole foods, plant-based or vegan diet, and then so our gut microbiome is pivotal on our health, and whatever you feed, it's a bit like you've got a zoo in there. Not that I'm advocating zoos, but if you feed the meat eaters, they're going to flourish. If you feed the plant eaters, they're going to flourish. And there's kind of a war going on. Yeah. And it's called your enterotype. It's your gut microbiome. It's the sort of environment that you're establishing. And if you all of a sudden just bunged in loads of whole plant foods, tons of fibre, tons of resistant starch, if you've not got the Prevotella bacteria type in there, flourishing enough, you're going to have dysbiosis. So this is why people say, oh no, I can't eat that, it gives me like diarrhea, it gives me flatulence, pain.
Bloating.
No, it's not your body that's the problem, it's the microbiome. It's a little organism living inside your colon, in fact. And so we've got the good guys, which are Prevotella, whole plant foods, and then we've got the bad guys, Bacteroides, refined plant foods, and animal products. So in a way, you know, it's good over a few weeks or whatever. It's good to sort of transition.
Yeah.
And then eventually, you know, that you feed them, they do really mushroom, like they do really flourish, these bacteria. It doesn't take long. But if you just smashed in tons of fibre and you're not used to it, cause a problem. I'm not saying that you have to do it with animal products. Like maybe, you know, you have a bit of the junkier plant foods without all the fibre. So, you know, maybe if you're kind of ethical and you want to stop eating animal products, obviously that's great. But maybe don't do it 100% whole plant foods to get all your calories. Maybe over the course of, like, I don't know, 6 to 8 weeks. I don't know really the time frame, but less junky or animal foods if you're still having them, more whole plant foods. Eventually, if you can do that, you will have the best health outcome. You'll live the longest. You'll live the most functional for more years. And the mental health as well, like... Yeah. It is pivotal. Our microbiome is pivotal on our mental and our physical health. It's one of the real latest, or we're making the greatest advancements into nutritional science relative to the microbiome and its effects on epigenetics and how it can change our actual DNA and improve it.
It's all so fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it.
I love it.
I love it. He gets intimidated by the dirty pigeons. They love a bit of it. Right.
Sorry.
Marlos Cook. What's your advice on having your blood checked as a vegan once a year, more or never if you're feeling fine? I got my bloods checked like a couple of times early on, just because like I didn't really realise how like powerful like whole foods plant-based nutrition is. Both times I went, all my vitamins and minerals were bang at the top of range. And what I now know as a nutritionist is that vegetables on average contain 16 times more nutrition than meat. So if you weren't having your bloods done as an omnivore, like, you know, there's even less reason as a vegan. Whole plant foods, calorically adequate, get all the different food types in, and supplement B12, D3, DHA if you like, I recommend it. Bit of seaweed or some iodine supplement. Look on Chronometer, www.chronometer.com. Plug it in for a couple of days, but you'll soon see you'll be smashing it.
Nice.
Oh, lovely. I'll let Reb take the helm. Oh, I need sauce.
Your snack has arrived.
In your bag?
No.
Oh.
I'll get the sauce up here.
Yeah.
How do I use it?
Reb Pawsey, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to subscribe to her. Why is only 19 people hit the thumbs up? Come on, people. You're normally better than this.
Cool.
I'm going to show you my bum now.
Don't criticise everyone.
Sorry.
Here it is. All right.
I didn't mean to criticise you.
Is it still wet from when you were cycling home?
Oh, God. I think I've skipped a load.
What was that? I don't know why.
I just wish there was an easier way.
Yeah, just
every
like a
time.
little down arrow you could just press. Not
Every
that
time.
other one. Yeah. It always happens.
Okay. Right, we'll get there in a minute.
Maybe people could ask you activist questions.
Ask me anything.
You love a bit of activism, don't you?
Oh, I love it. Yeah. Ask away. Ask anything.
Yeah.
Alright, here we go. So... Jonathan Scold rolled in. Hello, all of you wonderful people. Hello. Nice to have you here.
Would you say it's your dream to be a full-time activist, Rebel?
Well,
Or
I actually think...
got other dreams?
I think practically speaking, it would be very tough to be a full-time activist.
Yeah.
Mental health-wise.
Yeah.
Money-wise.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm already guilty of, like, burning the candle at both ends kind of thing. I don't know when to stop.
Yeah.
And then I get really run down and stuff. So, I don't know. I mean, I think I do a hell of a lot anyway.
You do, yeah. You really do.
You know,
yeah.
But I would love to have a job that could support it in other ways, like maybe working on a sanctuary or something.
Oh,
that'd be so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
What about you?
I couldn't do full-time activism. I definitely struggle with seeing a lot of things.
Yeah.
So there's only certain types of activism that I can really do that don't burn me out.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's something to consider. But luckily that's why it's so good that there's so many different forms of activism and
Yes.
you know, but have the balance as well. I feel like.
Yeah.
So for example, when we went to the livestock market at Save on Saturday, we were standing in the cold for like 5 hours, 6 hours, bearing witness to these animals. It was tough.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where I got ill. I don't know. But then like we had to balance it out. And then we did Earthlings experience.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, completely different. But again, it's kind of hard hitting because you're talking about like these horrible things that go on.
Yeah.
But you do get that like adrenaline boost, and you're so pumped to do it.
Yeah.
And then after that, we went and had, you know, lovely food and coffees and
Yeah.
chatted. So it was a good day to get the balance right,
Yeah.
and to show that, you know, the positive side to things as well, and the social side. Because I think like we're so lucky having a great vegan community here in Norwich.
Yeah.
That you have got the social aspect of it as well.
Good words.
Thanks. Soralella says, honestly, I don't think you can eat too many nori sheets. My not sure if ex-husband is Japanese and I've lived in Japan. We used to swim in nori sheets.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me. Love a bit of nori.
Oh yeah. So the coastal Japanese have 1/20th the breast cancer of an average American.
Yeah.
Do they get
They're
much,
putting it down to the iodine.
Do they get much thyroid disease over there, do you know?
I don't really know, but I'll imagine not as much.
Yeah, that's what I would imagine.
Jesse Hitman is here, says, yes, I made it. Hello. Right, Alicia says, any tips or ideas for recipes for first Christmas dinner? That's a great question.
If you think about it, the only thing about the Christmas dinner that's not vegan is the meat piece, which everyone thinks has to be the centre, the animal, the centre stage, you know. But everything else around it is usually vegan anyway, so you just have to replace that one thing. There's not much you have to replace, I don't think. Because, like, gravy can be vegan, like everything.
Yeah.
So there's, like, healthy replacements and non-healthy, really, isn't there?
Yeah.
You get, like, tofurkeys and that sort of thing.
I guess the traditional is nut roast.
I like a nice nut roast and with legumes and
Get
grains.
some cranberries in there. You could do like a Wellington with pastry.
Wellington, but I will tell you, Alicia is a Whole Foods vegan. She's a good girl.
Hey. All right. Well,
There's a chickpea loaf recipe on my video. On my on my video.
I still haven't made that. You did that a while ago, didn't you?
No, we did it with Banana Warrior, did we?
Probably.
Yeah, there's loads of recipes out there for like roasts, nut loaves and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not cooking this year, so that's good. I haven't had to think about it.
Oh, are you going to the mansion?
I'm going to the mansion.
Oh wow.
Yes.
YouTuber mansion.
Well.
Right.
Sort of.
Not many people did it.
Marlo says, I was vegetarian for 16 years before going 100% plant-based. The months before I made that step, I veganised a lot of my meals. It made it easier for me. Good advice.
Yeah.
But some people become vegan overnight. Yep. Oops. Okay, Purple Piplup says, my boyfriend tried going vegan for a couple of weeks and it was too much for him all at once, so he's going veggie first. Yeah, so that's what a lot of people do.
I would I think I cut out the dairy, but you know, I kept in a little meat and sea meat.
Sea meat, yeah.
And I think that would have a better health outcome. Well, neither's great for health, so I don't know what I'm saying that really.
Dairy does seem worse for health in a lot of ways, I think. There's a lot of links to autoimmune disease in dairy, isn't there? No?
It's the highest source of saturates, which raises our LDL cholesterol worse than dietary cholesterol.
Adam says, what are you guys doing for Christmas? Well, I'm going to the mansion, which is a couple of our friends have just moved into a big old house. So that'd be really nice. I'm going there for Christmas Day.
A very big house in the country.
It's got a million chandeliers. And on Boxing Day, I'm going on a hunt sab thing. Yeah, it'll be interesting. So what are you guys doing?
Nice. Peace on earth and all that. What are we doing?
Family stuff, probably.
Yeah.
Seeing mum and or dad. Sorry, I'll set it around. Seeing dad and or mum.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'll see mum, but also my dad. And then, I don't know, maybe we could sneak off and go and see those guys at the mansion.
Yeah, I want to go to the mansion.
Please do.
Come and hang out for a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not. Well, I'm seeing my parents on Christmas Eve, but like, I wanted to do something with friends on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Which I've never really done before. You know,
Yeah,
I've always
no, I
seen
haven't.
family, so that'd be a nice change.
Yeah.
Friends are like family that you choose.
Yeah, indeed.
That was very profound.
Amy Robson says, I had some hibiscus tea arrive today and it didn't run nooch again. Huh? And now I'll like it. You have converted me. I don't know.
Sweet.
It sounds positive. Jessie says, Paul, what are your thoughts of baked beans every day? I know it's processed, but I added it in with baked potato over breakfast for extra potassium and magnesium.
I would use haricot beans, but without the salt or saccharin or sugar-laden sauce. I used to kind of make my own with like a bit of canned tomatoes whizzed up with some herbs and spices and sort of make your own.
You can get beans in a can that are healthier, can't you? Like Suma and different brands like that. Where they have less or no sugar and... What else is good about it?
But if they've got sugar taken out, they've probably got saccharin put in, which is not great for health.
Lewis said, was better, vegan or plant-based, in capitals?
What do you mean?
So, my understanding of that is that plant-based may just mean the food aspect, but vegan incorporates things like animal tested products or, you know, using like materials made from animals and stuff like that.
Yeah, or like using them for entertainment. And
yeah, that kind of thing, like the broader spectrum of not using animals at all. Like, so I would say vegan is better.
yeah, it depends like how you mean, but yeah, that would be my sort of feeling. Sometimes I like to use the phrase plant-based because for some people the V word is a dirty word.
Yeah.
And so I kind of push more the health and sports performance kind of aspect. So, you know, I'm happy to say plant-based diet because that's what it is.
Yeah.
And I hope that, exactly that, and I hope that the ethics leads on from there, which it did for me once I found it wasn't normal, natural and necessary to eat animal products, and I went vegan, and then I was open to seeing, like, hearing that message, and I thought, wow, why was I adding to that? Like, that doesn't sit well with me, and so which is why I'm now a YouTuber spreading the vegan thing.
Chocolate bar.
Oh God, yeah. Chocolate bars for the mukbang. Dates and stuff, right?
Yeah,
Dates and that.
Dates and that.
And cocoa and that sort of thing.
Oh, so good. Okay, Gelson says, hi from Brazil. I'm loving it. You do good.
You do good too. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
I would like to go to Brazil.
Veganize says, how often are you going to do these live chats? Often, I hope.
I'm thinking about trying to do an upload or a live stream most days.
Ooh.
Even if just like an hour long like live stream.
London vegans. Hey guys, hope all is well.
Hey.
We're good apart from we're germy. We've got colds. Right. And then they said, you're right, people think you'll miss out going vegan, but it's a diet of abundance, so much good food to eat. Lewis says, please do these live chats more often.
Okay, we'll do it.
Go Vegan Bro says, threesome.
Later.
That's Patreon only. Archie Bilby says, hey hench.
Sup?
Frederico says 20 now. I don't know what that means.
Oh, thumbs up.
Oh, sweet.
Have you all thumbed up? Oh, 31, thank you.
Thank you.
That's more better.
Okay. Apparently Lewis is the son of Mark Trudgian. There you go.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Well, they've said it all in capitals, so it must be true.
Oh, Matt at the fair. You knew. How you doing, my friend? Nice to cyber meet you.
The fair was so good.
I missed it. I'm so gutted. I do not want to miss it next year.
I'll tell you something else. The next day at Leeds, which has a much smaller vegan scene, but that was so much bigger than ours.
Really?
Fair. And I think the reason being we're so near the coast, we haven't got a very large catchment area.
Oh yeah.
You see,
Yeah.
you know, whereas Leeds is surrounded by other towns. It was massive.
That's really cool.
Really good.
Oh.
So that's interesting.
Eric Yam says, how is the bulk going?
I finished it. I'm just having a little break.
Yeah.
I've actually lost about 9 pounds in the last 2 weeks. I will slow that down now. Yeah, I just fancied a little break from smashing in so much food. So I'm going to have 6 to 8 weeks and then get back on the bulk again. But I put on 3 stone in 5.5 months, which I think is pretty good, isn't it? I feel like I'm one of those people where I do need to put a little slop on to grow muscle the quickest. I may compete in the summer. I'm thinking probably I want to compete next year. Just get a bit more mass back on. But I'm trying to 2 steps forwards, 1 step back, so that once I do have to do a cut, I've not got so far to go is the plan.
Nice. Adam says, have you ever done a juice fast? What are your thoughts?
I did one for a month once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was that?
It's fine. I did. You can do juice fasting or juice feasting. Is like the new thing. So juice feasting is where you juice for however long, but you have a lot of juice, so you still get enough calories in a day. So like you're not losing weight, so you can still go to your job and live, and you're not just feeling weak and stuff. So I found it really easy. I just had the same amount of calories I would have had before, and it's fine. I don't know how healthy it is now, you know. Yeah.
I don't think I'd recommend it. There are a lot of nutrients. So fibre, number one, like we need the fibre to feed the microbiome. And historically, we've eaten upwards of 100 grams of fibre. You know, if you look at paleo man, we now know from coprolites or fossilised poop. And modern tribes, they tend to eat like upwards of 100 grams of fibre. So I think we need that to optimise our health in terms of feeding the microbiome. And that things like polyphenols are attached to the fibre, so you'll be losing that. And again, I always look to nature, and in nature there is no bottles of juice. Yeah.
I like having like a celery juice or something if I've got a cold.
I think greens and things, and the tiniest bit of fruit juice. I think a lot of fruit juice probably would be harmful. Seems to raise our risk for diabetes and things. Yeah.
Nice.
So there.
Novice says hello. Archie Bilby turned vegan half a year ago and getting into bodybuilding.
Sweet.
And a friend of mine mentioned creatine. He said you can only get it from meat and need it to build muscle. Is that true? What are your thoughts?
So, animals make creatine. Luckily, we're animals. So by taking in certain amino acids, we glue them together and make our own creatine. When you supplement exogenous creatine, be it a powder or from eating like animal flesh, initially you might get a little rise in creatine, and then over time homeostasis occurs in the body. You'll shut down producing it, and which is why you have to be kind of cyclical with your creatine intake. 30% of people are what's called non-responders. It has no effect on them. I'm one of them. The way to know that is when you first go on creatine, over the first kind of week or so, average person might put on about 5 pounds, which is water held inside the muscle bellies, which is what makes you stronger. So if that doesn't occur, you know, above your sort of caloric intake and what you were expecting your body to do, you're a non-responder. And supplements by default generally are vegan. So, yeah,
Nice.
that's some science stuff.
Facility time. Why are there no vegan doctors advocating vegan diet in the UK, like the US?
There are now. There are a couple about. I don't know their names, but I have seen them.
Jesse Hitman says, "Go Rebecca, thank you for what you do for the animals." Heart emoji.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, I appreciate that, Jesse. That's really kind. I'm glad to see it's appreciated.
Cowboy knows who good people are, and
Hey.
you're her favourite person, so
There you
that
go.
tells you something.
Cat approval. Oh yeah.
Why do we thank people for their activism? I've got a
Good
thought on
question.
this.
Go on.
So we look at animals suffering. We have mirror neurons, so we feel their suffering.
Yeah.
So if someone is trying to lessen their suffering, I feel like that's lessening our suffering.
Yeah.
I think that's a thing.
It is. Because you've said it.
Yeah. Sweet.
Alright.
And the animals can't say it, can they?
That is so true. Voice for the voiceless.
Yeah.
JJ, how do I get iodine without nori or sea veggies? Those make me gag. Thanks.
The best supplement is called Lugol's solution. LUGOL '(S) solution. It's in it's a tincture. It's got a little pipette. Comes in different strengths, so it'll say on the bottle how much you need, and you can put that into a smoothie or whatever. And if you get it on yourself, it'll stain you to buggery.
Yeah. It doesn't taste when you put it in a drink.
Yeah.
Right. Paul, you eat too quickly. Chew your food, says
He
Sorella.
does eat fast.
That's told me.
He eats very fast.
I've got so much food to eat. I think if I ate like properly, that I probably wouldn't get through it.
Yeah.
That's my excuse.
Rosa Jacoby, sorry, says, did your families go vegan? Not yet.
No.
We're still trying.
Not a bit of it.
It sucks, man. It really sucks.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's harder to affect the people you're closest to.
Yeah, it's really difficult.
Let's
isn't
turn
it?
each other's families vegan.
Yeah.
That could be a thing. Like a family swap.
Yeah.
I think I don't get it. I would love for my parents to come to Norwich and just like come to a Cube of Truth or something
Yeah.
and see what it actually entails.
Yeah.
Because then I think they're just scared. Like they don't actually know what it's about. They're like, oh, activism. Oh, don't get arrested.
Yeah.
And then when you try and talk about veganism, like I always talk about it honestly with them and don't hold back. But obviously, you know, it's a sore subject because they're not vegan. So I don't know. It's hard to get that balance of not attacking them and just being informative. So all I can hope is that with my parents, it's just like drip feeding, and hopefully, by like seeing what a positive influence it has on my life, maybe they'll go vegan one day. Here's hoping.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah. It's easier to get like boyfriends and stuff to go vegan than parents, in my experience. Yeah. Right. If you eat salt, you can get iodized salt. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Iodized salt?
It is it's more in America, but
Yeah.
salt is one of the worst things for our health, so
Yeah, they said they're trying to get off it.
I wouldn't
so
recommend that route.
Any other ideas? Kelp tablets for iodine? Maybe there's such a thing.
Yeah, there is, but don't overdose on them.
Yeah. Oh, right. According to Google, potatoes, green beans, corn, cranberries, and a few other things have iodine in them. So there you go.
Very little.
Right. Just the right amount.
And especially like the soils are getting more and more deplete. You know, because of like over farming.
They just put 3 minerals back in the soil, don't they? When they should have like 20 or something, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh. Amy Robson, anyone else going to the Viva Bristol Christmas Fair this weekend? Hoping to get many vegan goodies.
Oh.
Also, oops, the message was, I retried Nooch and now I like it. Okay, that was from earlier. Yay, you like Nooch now. I'm not going to Viva Bristol Christmas Fair, unfortunately.
No.
I didn't know about it,
Me
to be honest.
neither.
I can't afford it. But I hope it goes well. I hope it's a good turnout.
I thought your foot was cowboy.
You stroke my foot if you want.
Oh. You know your name, don't you, mate?
Do you want to go at the computer?
I'll have a go at it.
There you go.
Have a go on cowboy if you want.
Oh, wow.
He's amazing.
Sweetie. Cowboy.
Bubble Pipple, how to help people who want to stop consuming dairy eggs but finding it difficult. Show them the alternatives. I'll tell you what's good as an egg sort of replacement is scrambled tofu.
Yeah.
And what was that chickpea Oh, that was a tuna thing, wasn't it?
Chickpea tuna.
Chickpea tuna mayo. That was nice. So that's like dairy, isn't it? Like, mate. No, it's not. It's eggs. Oh, so that's eggs. Yeah. So chickpea tuna mayo is good. There are obviously cheeses and milk. Milks are pretty good in general. Cheeses tend to have coconut oil, which is not great, but you know, nor the fat in dairy. So, but you can get cheese which is more nut based, like Tyne cheese is my favourite. Yeah. Oh, God damn.
I feel like it depends why they're finding it hard to give it up. If it's like taste, you've just covered that. But like, can you like try and get them sold on the ethical side? Like, explain to them what happens in those industries, or send them some videos. Or...
I'll tell you a good video if people are not willing to look at the graphic stuff. But that Carnage thing on iPlayer, it shows you like chicks getting whizzed up in a blender, but it's in a cartoon form, and there's like puppets. And it's done very cleverly. That would be good, and it's fun, believe it or not. Don't sound like it's fun, does it? But so they'll be so busy laughing, but they will take in the information
and show them the health implications of eating those things. If their kid be sold up, more on that. Tell them what it's doing to their bodies. Because some people think of like eggs and things as like a healthful food because of how it was sold, you know, marketed for a long time.
Yeah. So Jesse's still talking about the old iodine. So, yeah, Lugol's solution, it is iodine with iodide in the correct ratios for human consumption. So that is my preferred iodine supplement. Barrett's in the house. What's up? Nutritionally satisfies all my cheese cravings.
Yeah,
that's good stuff. And you can make sort of cheese sauces with it as well, with like cashews and a bit of that whizzed up. D, if you own a chicken as a pet, can you eat the eggs if they don't hatch? Well, you can, but you wouldn't be vegan because that's an animal product.
It's an interesting conversation though, isn't it? The backyard hen egg thing.
It's a quagmire wrapped in an enigma.
I guess technically it's ethical. Well, more ethical than buying eggs, but...
That's if they don't want to eat them themselves, because often they eat the shells to
eggs,
reabsorb, especially the calcium.
But then you have to get to that point where you don't want an egg in your body because it's disgusting. It's not food.
It's one of the worst things for your health.
It's gross.
It's the highest...
It's so gross.
It's gross. It comes out of a chicken's bum.
That's what I
Well,
had.
the cloaca, which is also the vagina, and also yuck.
Yeah.
And people say, oh, it's in the shell. My argument is, do you think the shell formed first, or do you think the egg formed and then the shell formed around it? But yes, the highest cholesterol-laden food as well. So it will give you a heart attack.
Eggs are always going to be a symbol of the exploitation of the hen's reproductive system.
Do you think it stresses the hens out as well when the eggs keep disappearing? They keep being taken. Do you think that?
I keep hearing different sort of things. Really, I don't really know. I suppose it's got to be better than paying for that industry. I wouldn't do it on health grounds though. Is my sort of final word on it.
You should just have the chickens as pets and just love them for who they are, not because you want to get something from them.
Thank you, Smart Media. I will endeavour to slow down. Never. Tofu omelette is good. Tastes the same. I've not had a tofu omelette. Tofu quiche is nice if you're a fan of quiche. I thought that was Miley Cyrus for a minute, but it's Cyrus Myler. Is that a play on words now? The problem with that is that the chickens lay the eggs, the shells are all back the nutrients. Yeah. Yeah. Did you know that hens are meant to produce about 13 eggs a year? So if they're producing them daily, they've basically been sort of hybridised, like bred and like chemically altered, and that is really horrible for their health. Yeah, really horrible. And then if you sort of buy those, are you then funding that sort of industry to carry on, or
what, by the hens?
Or are they like rescue hens? I suppose.
Well,
I don't know.
they'll have come from the egg industry at some point, I suppose.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, it's a weird one because it's like trying to find a loophole in veganism. Like, oh, it's okay to eat back-end eggs, so it's not. Like,
Yeah.
I get why it seems better, but the fundamentals of it are still based in exploitation.
It's a funny one. Sarah's in the house. I said that. Amy, one for all of you. What was the most aggressive confrontation you had with a carnist, and how did you approach the situation? Any thoughts?
Nothing too crazy, nothing too aggressive or violent or anything. At the livestock market, there was farmers who had agreed to stop their trucks so we could film the animals, but then they were very much like, you could tell they didn't want to, and there was this trailer with a couple of veal calves in the back. So beautiful, like little babies.
They are really
and he
gorgeous, aren't they?
Like we were looking through. He only opened one little bit of the trailer,
Yeah.
and then he went, right, time's up, and just slammed it on them.
Yeah.
And he was so aggressive, and that's just like, that's not showing respect to your animals, is it? So that, I don't know. I guess it's more when people like they're nervous of activism, they don't know really what we're doing, that they get their backs up.
I had a funny one where someone was being aggressive when we were doing outreach.
Yeah.
And I thought it was going to come to blows, which it normally would have done because he was getting more and more aggressive and closer. And in the end, I was saying, how, what's the problem? Like, we're trying to end suffering. And he was off his pickle. And he was sort of saying how he never got love as a child, and did you get love and you'll never end suffering. And I sort of recognised that he was telling me he was suffering. So instead of, as he got too close and then knocking him out like I would have done previously when someone's getting aggressive, and I was certain that it was going to be a fist fight, but I just said, I'll give you a cuddle then. And I ended up giving him a cuddle, and that ended the fight just as quickly as a punch.
He cried his eyes out as soon as you cuddled him.
He cried his eyes out.
Yeah. Wow.
That was amazing. Something in my head said, you can, you can... So in a conflict situation, I'll talk with my hands, and it looks like I'm being like all nicey nice, but really I've got my guard up so I can cover and I can strike.
But that's the best way to diffuse an angry or aggressive person, because if you just go at them with love, they can't keep yelling.
They can't go anywhere.
Obviously, if you yell back, they're like, right, it's on then. But
Yeah.
if you just give them love.
That was a beautiful day. That was to see that.
That was one of the very nicest experiences I ever had.
Everyone who saw it, we just all stood there speechless. Afterwards, we were just like, what the F just happened?
That was a funny one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Serious. Paul, what are you doing for your birthday? Will there be vegan cake? When can I pop over for my slice? I think we're going to the Tipsy Vegan on St Benedict's in Norwich.
And then a few days after, we're going to see Star Wars.
The new Star Wars, The Last Jedi. I like those little creatures that are in it now. I forget what they're called. But he's in the Millennium Falcon and he's going... Isn't he? That little thing.
Yeah.
He's a stowaway.
You probably won't have cake. Well, we're having a 3-course meal at the Tipsy Vegan, and the desserts, there was one that was gluten-free, but it was a raw cheesecake, and it probably would have just had a lot of coconut oil, so I said we didn't want that, and we wanted an extra starter, so you're getting 2 soups for a starter instead of a dessert.
Sweet. Nina, I just came and liked it immediately, as I know your video will be good. Thanks, Han. Also, my parent doesn't really want to hear about veganism. What can I do to subtly get my point across?
Wear vegan t-shirts. That's not all. Just be a positive example of it. Say how amazing it makes you feel. Tell them about beautiful food that you have. How easy it is. That sort of thing.
Yeah, it's hard when it's people close to you, and they may feel like you feel like they haven't brought you up in a healthful way and whatever. So it's going to be contentious, and oftentimes our loved ones need to hear the message from others, which we were saying about earlier. It is a funny one. You eat smart media. Do you recommend oils to absorb fat-soluble vitamins? Oils are probably the worst thing that vegans can eat. Obviously, we're not eating animal products, which are bad, but oil's really terrible. Paralyzes like endothelial function. There's like 7 or 8 really naughty things that oil does for our health. I always go back to nature, and in nature, you don't get jugs of oil. You don't even get bags of shelled nuts, for that matter. To get a little shell out of its husk and everything is a lot of work, you know, when you've not got a nutcracker. But there's delicious fruit hanging there. There's tubers that you can dig up year round. Animals tend to run off, so they're harder to eat. So what are we left with? Like high carb foods. Yeah. But we do need healthful fats, as you say, and to absorb fat soluble vitamins. So nuts, seeds, avocados are your friends. But I don't recommend to eat too high a percentage of your calories. I typically go like around 15%. But good question. Carotenoids, vitamin K, vitamin D. You do need some fats in there. But alright, give me some advice to gain weight on a vegan diet. Obviously, you can eat all the junk foods and have rubbish health. So my recommendation is whole grains, nuts, seeds, legumes.
What about your video you did about gaining muscle? That would be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah, in my fitness videos playlist is a video about gaining muscle on a vegan diet. But tropical and dried fruits versus, you know, your more traditional like apples and things, which are, they're still healthful, but calorically they're so dilute, it's hard. And for a strength athlete, I don't mind the judicious use of a little protein powders. My preference is for one with no nasty additives. Tofu, tempeh, which is pretty much a whole food actually, tempeh, seitan, that sort of thing. Get the protein up a little higher. Obviously plenty of legumes. Rebecca, where did you get that shirt?
Oh, this is, can you see? This is anti-conist, but this design isn't in circulation anymore.
Oh.
It's one of my favourites, but she said it didn't sell that well.
Really?
Yeah, but I love it. But anti-conist have like loads of great t-shirts. I've basically got the whole range.
And so do Hench Herbivore. Link in the description. Give us your money.
When I'm not promoting anti-conist, I'm always promoting Hench Herbivore.
How dare you promote a rival
I'm
t-shirt?
the same.
I know.
When I'm not promoting our stuff, I would always promote
At least he's a Norwich demon.
Yeah. Support the Norwich crew.
Fruity Liana's in the house.
Yeah,
What's up? Hi,
Liana.
lovely. Miss you. We miss you too,
I
lovely.
really do miss you. Let's have a private chat.
Oh,
not
yeah.
in a horrible way, in a fun way. I don't know. Not like, I need a private word of you, you're in trouble. Just, I miss your face.
Oh, you've jumped it down all the way.
I jumped it down. I just need to block some silly people.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Porgs. That's those creatures from Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
They're so cute, aren't they? I saw a stuffed animal, like, toy of them in a window, shop window.
Yeah.
They're really cute.
They're good people.
Not as cute as Cowboy, though.
Oh, of course.
Orc Warrior, any vegan events London soon, please? Amy saying vegan Christmas fair at Camden.
There's
I don't really know.
There's experiences going on the reg. Yeah.
There's something in Norwich, isn't there? 2 days before Christmas, a Christmas market.
Yeah, the 23rd. Yeah, in Norwich.
Oh yeah, that's like the unofficial one, isn't it?
Right.
I'm gonna go.
Veganised, I'm enjoying this live chat very much, more than the others I've watched. What's that? Because Rebecca's here and that's not just me?
You know it.
Yeah.
I took it they meant more than other live streams they've watched of other people.
Ah!
So that's how you took it.
Ah, that's how I took it.
Which is correct.
But do subscribe to Reb Pawsey. She's amazing.
Thank you.
On the YouTubes.
I love to make YouTube content. What
And
can I say?
Planet Sim. Last contact I had with a vegan was my neighbour, vegan neighbour, who told me to kill my grandpa for being a hunter.
Oh.
So that's not vegan, is it? To cause suffering. So I would argue that they're not vegan.
Yeah.
Most vegan people say, "Oh, vegans are so pushy and judgmental and blah blah blah," and always. My perspective is most vegans keep quiet about it, and I find that annoying because I think, like, you know, if you know you can see the suffering, I feel like we have a duty to stand up for the animals, you know. Perspectives, though, isn't it? You know, all depends how we feel relative to the thing we're observing. Was that very astute of me?
Astute.
Ribs spontaneously combusted.
Yeah.
Amy's been wearing her herbivore hat non-stop.
Oh.
Thank you. If you've got cold heads, we've got herbivore beanies now. 4 different colours.
Yeah, pink, purple,
Purple piplup.
brown and black. No, the browns were sold out.
Oh, no more browns. 3 colours.
The pinks are wonderful. That's my favourite one.
Very hot pink. How many is left?
Oh, like 3.
Oh.
Not many.
Get your orders in if you want a pink beanie.
I've got a lot of black.
Handshopherbivore.com. Link in the description. Give us your money.
Is anyone getting sick of that yet? I never get
Nah.
sick of it.
Oh, I've skipped some. Sorry.
We go through these little phases of finding a certain saying really funny, and that's our current saying that we just find hilarious. But if you are sick of it, don't worry. Sooner or later, we will get fed up with it.
Where are we? Freeliana, you all need to come visit in the summer. Let's make plans. I love your.
I have been planning it. planning.
Yeah, I love that area of the country. That would be very nice.
Jim, I might buy one of your pink hats.
Oh.
I would like to try it on first to make sure it looks good.
Okay then.
Why don't you try it on now on
Should I
the
model it
stream?
for the-
Yeah, model
Get
it.
for you.
Lovely.
Stuck.
Here we have Rebecca Pawsey wearing hench herbivore.
It's gonna be good.
Badum bum bum, badum bum bum. Why am I doing that?
Yeah, because I want to see Leanna and Chris and Otto. They're the best ones.
Who's Otter?
Otto Schneider.
He sounds familiar.
Yeah, he lives in Torquay as well.
Ah.
Well, I think he was at Bristol Veg Fest and they've met him there.
Ah.
Yeah, long blonde hair.
Baggy jeans and long blonde hair.
Oh, yeah.
Without a care and a wow.
Ooh. How's it? How's
You
that?
look beautiful.
working?
Ah, yeah. There may only be 2 left after this. Get your orders in. Link in the
That's such a
description.
cool colour.
Give us your money. No, but seriously, do fund us.
But seriously.
I thought the computer had frozen on you doing that face then.
That would have been good.
Do you want us to just freeze for a moment while you do that face and then...
Oh, that's well
I
nice.
get carried away.
Miley Cyrus, would you recommend a lichen-based vitamin D3 spray? Why, yes, I would.
Lichen, that's off a tree, isn't it?
Yeah, it's sort of a cross between an algae and a moss.
Yeah.
It's like a separate entity, so
Cool.
it's sort of a plant. And that's rather than having sheep sweat-based vitamin D,
Oh,
I'll go for
which
that.
is always
Plant one.
delicious.
that's so weird.
Purple piplup! It's always nice to have more people in the stream. I agree, I love to have a guest on. Especially one so wonderful as this.
And then when we move, we'll probably have other guests on the stream because people can stay over, come from further away, things like that.
Who would you like on the stream? Comment down below. We'll try and get them.
Yeah,
We'll get them.
put them where we are.
Yeah.
Cesar said he'd like to come and
yeah.
see us.
Oh, nice.
You smart media, do you attend conferences to learn more about health? You seem really understand the scientific aspect. I just really sort of bury myself in the books and a lot of nutritionfacts.org videos, podcast. Oh, there's a nutritionfacts.org podcast now as well.
Yeah,
And the Plant Yourself podcast is a good one. Yeah, I just really, but no conferences. But as the latest stuff comes out, all the research, Dr. Gregor from Nutrition Facts tends to post it anyway. So, new thing I learned today from Dr. Gregor. So it's hard to prove. It's hard to prove like mechanisms. Like for instance, we can't prove how cigarettes give us lung cancer.
Yeah.
But we do know it gives us lung cancer. But it's only really correlation. Just the more cigarettes people have, the more lung cancer they get, and as they cut back, and then their risk drops. So it seems pretty obvious, but you don't know if maybe something else is going on. But it's pretty obvious at this point, isn't it? And it's the same with LDL cholesterol being the only critical risk factor for heart disease. It's still really hard to sort of prove like the mechanism, and so it's kind of a lot of correlation. But today I learned, so for instance, like smoking or not smoking, exercise, lack of exercise, nutrition obviously can affect like your health outcome and then your genetic predisposition. So they call those confounding factors. So it's hard to say was it that or maybe no, but then that's going on. African Americans, 1 in 40 African Americans has a mutated gene, which means they naturally have much lower LDL cholesterol than they should have, which is more like you'd get on a plant-based diet.
Yeah.
So they can have high blood pressure, diabetes, be smokers. Guess what their risk for heart attack is relative to other people? 88% less heart attacks.
That's a lot.
88, regardless of, it's all it's because their LDL is lower.
Well,
so that kind of proves that LDL is there. Yeah,
that's crazy.
So that's something.
That is,
because you can say, oh, like whole food plant-based diet lowers risk of heart disease, lowering your LDL, but it's also doing a lot of other helpful things. So you don't know, well, was it necessarily? Yeah. You can't really prove it.
It's fascinating. And then you get those. Have you heard of blue zones in the world?
We certainly have.
Yeah. Do you want to explain?
Yeah. So there's 5 zones where it was like the longest lived people. They tend and actually now it's changing because their diets are changing and now they're getting the same disease risk as other people. But 5 areas. Loma Linda, California, one of the most famous ones. Where else are they? Costa Rica, Okinawa.
Yeah.
Just the longest lived people and most centenarians, and they tend to be very plant based.
They do.
One thing I noticed was that they're not often like great athletes. You think, oh, they must be doing loads of fitness to make their heart health, but no. But what they tend to have is low mod cons, or what they so this is back in the 70s actually, all these studies, and back then especially they wouldn't sit for more than 15-20 minutes before they had to grind some corn or pull up some plants or do this, do that. So they're always moving, which our landlord said. Our landlord we used to have, Landy as we affectionately called him. He was a lovely guy. He was in his 80s and he would run up and down the stairs. One time he grabbed this big TV, not like a flat screen, but a big, old-fashioned TV.
I wanted to do it and he's like, no. Like laughing because I'm a girl or something and I wanted to live this thing. And
he actually ran with it. I wouldn't have dreamed of doing that. Yeah. And I said, how are you so well? And he said, I never stopped moving. And I can see that there is something to it.
Yeah.
But
don't get old. Keep moving.
Yeah. So what we were talking about the blue zone. So what was there? Was there a point we were gonna?
Yeah, just that there's so many factors in all of this stuff.
Yeah. They tend to be very community based.
Yeah, that's it.
What was that thing I learned? Oh, I learned so many things, and then because all new information comes in, I don't think about things for ages.
Is it so many years added on your life for so many friends that you have? Is that what you're going to say?
If there's something about if you are lonely, which was considered 5 friends or less. Like your chance of like an early death was like 8 years, like less lifespan, and the same if you don't have a feeling of purpose in your life. 8%, 8 years off your life. Isn't that interesting?
You should all get the book about the blue zones. I think it's called something like "How to Live Longer" by the people who live the longest, or something like that. It's interesting.
And incidentally, they're also all the happiest people as well. That was the thing.
Yeah.
There's so many aspects to health.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me. I used to just think, I've just got to get my food good.
Yeah.
Oh, then I'll be well. And then I wasn't. And then I thought, well, what's going on? And then you learn all these other things, like your emotional health and like friends, like you were saying. And,
Nina, hello again. I recently did a presentation about veganism at a school to a small group of about 10 people. I know there are some things I could have done a bit better. Do you have any presentation tips? So really, you've probably got this already, but it's being passionate about what you're talking about, being very well informed about what you're talking about.
Awesome that you did it though.
Yeah, that's really cool. It's not easy, is it? I've just sort of started public speaking myself, and it has come really hard, but I feel like I'm getting somewhere now. In terms of like performance, it's slowing your breathing down before you start, so that you're not in sort of fight or flight. Because historically, you know, we lived in tribes, and then if we do anything that can affect our social standing, our sort of survival brain, we don't know this, but if you did something and you would have got kicked out of the tribe, like ostracised, you would have been dead, because we needed each other to as support and to survive in this hostile environment with saber-toothed tigers and whatnot. And so anything that you can perform badly in public, and so potentially you think you're sort of reptilian brain almost, it's like you're about to have a fight. It's the same thing. So get that under control by deep breaths, and when you're speaking, breathe in, formulate the words in your head, and then breathe out your words. And it's really that out breath that slows your heart rate down. So have some pauses. When you first get out in front of people, it's easy to try and belt everything out because you want to hurry up, and then you've done your thing, and then you get off stage and you're out. But then you trip over.
I can't help it.
It's so easy.
You just start talking really, really fast.
Yeah, so slow. So breathe in your thoughts, breathe out your words, and but practice your tool, like your instrument, like obviously your voice. You
really watched a lot of TED Talks and things
TED
about
Talks
public
came in really handy.
I think that really helped you to know that what was happening to you was normal, and you understood the mechanism that you just explained, and then that seemed to help. Understanding
that it's normal to your brain. What happens is, so you've got your brainstem, which is your fight or flight. You've got your limbic system, which is your emotions, and then you've got your neocortex, which is your higher thinking. And under pressure, under fight or flight, your neocortex shuts down, so you go to emotions and survival. You clinically go stupid. You clinically go stupid. But the way to then counter that is just to breathe, which we've been doing since we were born. How crazy that was the answer to my public speaking fears. Anything else we can say about that?
Just to have a time frame in mind, so that you know.
But bullet points
to speak for,
bullet points, or for me, like I felt better by actually writing it all out.
Yeah.
And practice.
Practice in front of friends as well.
Practice, which you helped me with, didn't you? And obviously Gemma. And then I started with a couple of people, and then more and more. Actually, the weird thing is, what I found is the more people, if it's like a sea of faces, that feels easier than an intimate little group. It's weird. It worked. For me, that was a definite, and I've heard it from other speakers as well.
Also, you could record yourself doing the speech and then listen to it back to see. You can then pick up on where you sort of need to pause more or go into more depth. That's useful.
And body language is huge. So a good thing is to have open hands, so that projects honesty and openness.
Yeah.
If you're kind of like this, you look nervous, and then so people. We have those mirror neurons, so if you look anxious, people will feel anxious, they won't enjoy it. So open up, smile, and it's good to gesticulate, and if you're sort of making points, you can kind of, it's just good to make yourself look interesting rather than just being all... Well, I remember my first talk I ever did, I had my notes and I was kind of deciding behind them. Purple pepper up.
Don't always spit on me when she's here.
I might have to get a purple hat.
Yeah.
I think that would be very cool.
Definitely.
Yeah, and feel free to post that on the Instagram. I'll reshare it if you don't mind.
We're a bit low on purples as well. I think we've got
how many purples?
4,
snap them up.
We've got 4 or 5 purples. So snap them up, or they're snappy. Make me a crocodile sandwich and make it snappy. Oh, that wasn't vegan. Crocodile brand, I mean. Chappelle Home Studio. I've been vegan for about 1.5 years, but sometimes I smell meat being cooked and I still think it smells appetising. That's why I've been off with the idea. Just wanted your take on it.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, I find it really gross now, but
yeah.
So yeah, I always, a lot of vegans as well, often talk about how biologically there's nothing carnivorous about us. The reason why we would be attracted to that smell is because historically we have eaten meat. If meat doesn't smell good, it means it's going off, which raises the pathogens, which we don't have high hydrochloric acid like a carnivore, so we would get sick from it, whereas a true carnivore would not get sick from eating like rotten meat. So that smell of it have been cooked is a survival mechanism that tells us like it's not going to make us sick. It's not going to make us sick immediately, but decades down the road we will have an early death, and we will have like dysfunction from coronary heart disease and diabetes, cancers.
With the pleasure trap, it said something about it being a really dense calorie source. Like, so we get more dopamine released from that. Then say if we ate a salad, you get a little dopamine.
Are you hungry like a lot of the time? If you're under eating, like you might find that's more of a thing. That would make sense.
Your brain rewards you with more dopamine the higher calorie dense source thing you eat, because your brain is trying to reward you to make you remember how to get that source.
Because
so
we evolved in a time of scarcity, you know.
Yeah. The Pleasure Trap's a great book. I recommend it to anyone. Really explains the body and how that will work.
Doctors Goldhammer and Lyle.
Yeah, that's right.
I know my stuff.
Also, when you still think meat smells amazing, or you could even go as far as say that it would still taste amazing if you're a newbie-ish vegan, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, because you can use it to promote veganism. Like, if someone's like, oh, but bacon though, you can say to them, yeah, I agree it tastes great, but it's still not worth it.
Yeah.
So you can like relate to them.
A lot of things.
And overcome it.
A lot of things give a great sensation, but it doesn't mean you should be like harming others from them. Not just eating animals.
You know, you get that a lot, don't you? Oh, vegan food tastes horrible. You're like, well, what is vegan food? They're just like giving these broad statements saying like meat tastes amazing, and I'll say to them like, you could have a veggie burger, right, and then a meat burger, and even if the veggie burger didn't taste as good, I would still choose it because it's not worth animals suffering.
Yeah.
And that's like quite a selfless thing to do, isn't it?
Do you notice how people say, oh, bacon though, but they don't say, oh, plain chicken's breast though?
Just
because
plain.
the bacon's full of the salt and so much fat, and like, it's like
that's what they want.
Those things hit our taste buds. But like, say you had like a boiled chicken breast with no flavourings and nothing, and it's not as appetizing to people, is it? Like, so it's all of the fat and the salt and that kind of stuff.
So they'd be more likely probably to do. This could be an experiment. Get some really plain ass like chicken breasts versus delicious vegan junk food. Yeah. What would they go for?
Yeah.
Or a delicious mango.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. Like
mangoes though.
Then that really tells who is just saying it just to be a conist. Just to say, oh no, I just love eating dead bodies.
Yeah. Sausages are the same, they're full of salt and crap, aren't they? So
Yep.
Rosa Jacoby, I want a herbivore hat, but my card has stopped working recently. Extreme crying. Oh, you've done that. Make sure you keep the stock up. We'll try, but we can't promise. We can't promise. So try and
get on it.
Thanks. Well, I'm pretty silent about being a vegan because I know what my friends and acquaintances think about being vegan. It just feels like I'm talking against the wall. Yeah, that's not easy. But again, like just lead by example. If your health is flourishing, you're feeling really happy and positive. You know, people will eventually want some of what you're having.
Find yourself some vegan friends. Yeah, it sounds like you're surrounded by people who aren't accepting. Online. Yeah, so you.
Or try and find a community where you are, or start a community where you are.
Yeah, it's really important.
Be the change, and all that stuff. Jolly good fellas here. Hey guys, best wishes for the Christmas season. Hey, where does the
Merry Christmas
delightful come from? I always wondered. I don't know. I think I just made it up one day.
It's gone down in history.
You don't say it as much.
I've not done it for a while.
You need to bring it back.
Say, give us your money.
Shall I bring this back, folks? Yes, this is delightful.
It didn't start off that crazy.
It's evolved.
Give us your money started off like a lot plainer, but now it's turned into a great big old thing.
This always happens.
You see what I mean? He'll get sick of give us your money and he'll go on to something else soon.
You don't want me to.
No, I don't want you to.
You love a bit of it. Oh, let me just charge up my
Are you sick of it
different battery.
No, I love it. Yeah. And also,
just charging the batteries
up. This is delightful when I try new food.
Yeah.
It's transferred.
You don't say delightful so much now, do you?
No, I do not.
Was it? But
yeah.
Sorry.
Well, I just jumped.
No.
Despite the fact I was just sitting here the whole time.
Reb, do you ever like, or anyone else, you ever like when you're falling asleep, like you just like nodding off, and all of a sudden your whole body jumps?
Oh yeah, I hate that.
Anyone do that? What happens there?
All right.
I think that it's your soul coming back into your body. I've wondered that before.
Always happens to me when I'm just like nodding. Sometimes you'll do it because you fall asleep before me, or occasionally like if I've gone to sleep before you. One time.
Don't grass me up.
One time, didn't I really?
Get back, grass.
My whole body jumped off the bed.
Yeah.
I can't even do it now, like purposely. I can't make my whole body jump, but it did it.
It's something to do with the type of sleep, like REM sleep or something like that. It's something like you're just falling asleep, but then you think you're in danger and you jolt awake, something like that. It's so weird. It's disconcerting.
Rapid eye movement.
Right.
I don't know where it just came to me. I just had to ask if it's happened to anyone.
That'll probably happen tonight.
Marlowe's, will you make the herbivore beanies in the colour green too?
Ooh.
Oh.
Green is not a creative colour.
We can do any colour.
I could see it like emerald green with like yellow stitching or something.
That'd be lush.
Norwich City.
Yeah. You might have. I don't know if anyone's noticed, but I use yellow and green in my lettering. Did you notice that?
You told me it. So.
Oh, did I tell you?
Yeah, we could do.
I don't think I've told that to anyone else. You know.
I
just wondered if anyone would ever like catch me out on it.
We just keep trying new colours and see if they sell and if they're popular.
Yeah.
But so far they all have been. So.
This cat is a vegan cat.
Yay.
Thank you. Thanks for listening. Vegan gains on the stream. My Hazy's a big cuddler.
Oh.
Nice. Adam, get Dr. Gregor over here.
Yes.
That's the dream.
Everyone's making a lot of demands.
No, we asked who would you like to see on the.
Gregor.
I'm very silly. My brain forgot that happened a while ago. Alcohol doesn't cause hangovers, waking up does.
Good point.
Good perspective.
Yeah.
That's that causation thing again, is it?
Yeah.
Vegan Eyes is enjoying the stream there.
Thanks.
Larry Master, I have no friends, I am done for. Aww. It's only 8 years off your life. Come and hang out with us. We'll be your friends. You smart media, do you find sleeping quality suffers when you are bulking, you have to cram meals in? Yeah, potentially if you have them too late. I sort of try and finish eating a couple of hours before bed, which normally sort of happens. But yeah, that would affect your sleep. Amy Robson, public speaking tip, never be afraid to take a pause. Yeah. Doing a Q&A, knowledge and gaps in knowledge. Yeah, I've done that before now and thought that was a good thing to do. Thank the person who asked the question, write it down for later reference. Sip of water. Yeah, I always have water in my hand as well. Not expected to be perfect. Yeah, most audience are sympathetic. Particularly, I mean, for me, I'm kind of preaching to the converted, really, so...
Oh, cowboy's biting your bag.
Oh.
He's sharking it. We call it sharking.
Sharking.
When they bite.
Kian Oliver, you are eating the animal's food. Well, I'm an animal, so I would be eating animals' food, wouldn't I?
Dairy is animals' food.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Animals are lions' food. Jesse Hitman. Gmoo.
Good point.
Okay.
You got mad just then.
You got mad!
A little bit.
No, I was only joking.
You're just
She
messing.
seemed mad.
I like the idiot.
Like the dance.
But anyways, Nina, when I did my presentation, I tried to be friendly, but I wasn't sure about what the balance should be between friendliness and seriousness to show the importance of what I said. What do you think? Yeah, you need to sort of strike a balance. Yeah. If you're speaking to like non-vegans, like you don't want to be too sort of harsh, or they might sort of shut down. Yeah, it's a hard one, isn't it? Only you're a psychology-minded one. How would you approach that? What should be the balance between friendliness and seriousness to show the importance of when you're talking about the vegan message to non-vegans?
Well, I feel like maybe you could be really serious on the subject of veganism, but be friendly and softer on everything else. Like, so the lead up to talking about veganism, just like the hi, how are you? Just be like really soft and warm and friendly. But every time there's talk of veganism, just be really like, you know, this is serious to me. This is important. Like, does that make sense? Like, always be serious about the vegan part. Maybe, I don't know. But also, you can be you can understand and empathise. So you can be serious about it. But if somebody says something like, "Oh, but I just really like how it tastes," though, or whatever, you can empathise and say, "Oh, I can understand that because I used to feel that way and I've been there." So like you can be empathetic on things maybe, but still be serious about like, oh, you know, but an animal's still dying for you to have a sandwich though. Just, you know, does that make sense? To be serious, but you can still be nice and like empathise and give understanding and those sorts of things. That's probably how I'd do it, but I'm no expert. We're all different.
You're the main one. Vegan extremists. It's called myoclonic jerk. The sleep thing.
I knew it.
Myoclonic jerk. That's really interesting.
Thank you.
I'm gonna look that up. Later.
No, all that stuff I just said. I then referenced that to my life, and then I thought, I'm different with different people depending on who it is actually. So I don't know. I'm not always that same way. Oh god, my ears are so blocked up. Yeah. Are you like doing that sometimes? Yeah. Oh, I have to keep doing it.
Oh, actually, it says here that it's a hypnic jerk. It's a hypnic jerk when you're falling asleep.
Yeah.
Myoclonic twitches, jerks, or seizures are usually caused by sudden muscle contractions. Brief lapses in contraction.
I want to know how my whole body is able to jump up off the bed
Interesting.
all at once. That does sound strange.
All at once.
Just, straight up.
Get more in the middle.
Hang on.
That's what she said. Jesse Hitman is saying meow.
Meow.
Purple Piplup's got a cat face on instead of a penguin face.
In
Manus is in the house.
Oh, hey.
Marlowe's has got to go. Thanks for joining, my friend, if you're still here. How long is left? I don't know.
Manus, add me on Snapchat again. Please.
Manus is good, people.
I don't know what I just found funny. Giggling away. Got the giggles.
Is our cat really vegan? Why, yes, she is.
Lovely.
He.
Whatever. What?
Purple Piplup's just finished cooking dinner. I think we're up to date on the stream.
God, no way. Goddamn done it. I think we are too.
We've never been up to date.
This has never happened. My Snapchat is just Reb Pawsey. REBPAWSEY. Get on it.
Yeah.
What sort of things do you snap about? Oh well, a lot of cats. Is that how the kids call it? Snap about.
Snapping.
I like to use it just as like a little fleeting diary.
Get your snap on.
Yeah. Do you snap up any little tidbits of your life? Yeah.
Titbits.
Yeah, I call it a tidbit. We know. And a snap. Yeah, I do. Oh, he's bloody added me. Thanks.
He's only gone and added, yeah?
He's only gone and done it. Let's send a snap to Manus now.
Snap him.
That would be like snapception. Snotty noses. Alright. You're doing it.
Am I in it? What have I got to do?
Is it a video or a photo? It's a video.
Oh.
Alright, that's coming at you, Manus. That's me saying, is it a video or a photo? Oh, God. I'm so old. Nah, it's cool. Oh. I find it amusing. You can see who views your snaps of a day. Yeah. It's like, oh, they're watching, are they? Thought you blocked me on Insta, but you're still watching my Snapchat story.
Yeah.
True story.
Oh. Amy, if you could give us one inspirational message today, what would it be?
Absolutely nothing lasts forever. If you're feeling down, if you're feeling in a pit of despair, it gets better. Yeah, it's good advice. Yeah.
I would say the greatest thing I've learned of recent months is to stop caring what other people think.
It's hard though, isn't it? Flipping hard.
I guess so. I feel like I've done it though.
Yeah. I
really feel like I'm doing the right thing and that I'm a good person in life, and someone's got a problem with me, I think, well, there's a problem with them.
I'm getting to that stage as well where it's like, I've tried in the past so hard to please people and like forgive people, but now I just think if they're not actually bringing anything positive to my life,
What's the point?
Get rid of them.
Chuck them out the door.
You are the sum of the 5 people you hang out with the most. Why do you want to be a knob for?
Yeah.
Get rid of the knobs.
Get rid of them.
Like to say some sort of saying that I can't really remember. Something about like every journey or whatever. Of however long starts with the first step.
A journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Are you reading a book about Zen currently?
I've got a book called Zen Psychology.
And is that where you got that from?
No.
Oh, because I had a book about Zen, and that was in that book.
Oh. Okay. So the book's like Buddhism / psychology like merged together. I'm looking forward to reading that.
Yeah, that will be good. I'll be interested to hear about that.
Yeah.
Electricity wire. Do you know any Irish vegan YouTube people? The vegan pair?
I don't know.
Are they called? The vegan pair? Are they in Dublin or something?
Cool.
Vegan pear, as in the fruit, I think. Is it?
You can do it.
Hang on, I'll just look it up quickly.
Yeah.
They're definitely Irish.
So clever.
I can't think of any others, I don't think.
I can't either.
Vegan pear channel. The Happy Pair, that was it.
Oh,
sorry. The Happy Pair, they're a couple of chefs.
Nice.
Oh, people are actually saying that in the stream. Yeah. I saw Tim Chief speaking to them at Vivolution.
Ooh. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you could say plain chicken breast though as a comeback to.
Exactly.
That's a good idea.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, I keep losing my place. Nina, considering presenting again, what activities could I include to get the audience interested and involved? I asked why they thought people went vegan. What do you think are the best questions?
I learnt something from Tony Robbins that I can't remember very well, so sorry about that. He's saying like to really engage people more and more, higher amounts, you've got to do certain things like get them movement is part of it, and get them saying things back. Like there's certain things like that you can do, and they
even apparently
what you said.
Yeah, and apparently even rhetorical questions will get their attention again because people start to drift off.
Yeah.
But even if it's a rhetorical question, like you just hold their attention like better like that.
So like if you, I don't know, like got people say if you said, oh, shout out your favourite fruit or just something like that as an example. If people are saying things out loud, they're more engaged. They're going to be more engaged in what you're saying. They're going to listen more and take it in more and that sort of thing. Tony Robbins has got some videos on that about speaking and ways to engage people, so you could look that up.
Yeah, questions are great.
What are the best questions? I don't know, that week. I don't know.
I don't really know. Just you can by asking questions, you can get people to unravel their own kind of hypocrisy and their own sort of tangles in their brain around eating animals and like. Have you ever? So I'll tell you a good video to watch, which might give you some perspective. Is Melanie Joy's Carnism? Is it called?
Yeah.
What does she say at the start? Like, have you ever wondered why you eat that animal and we don't eat that? Have you ever wondered why you haven't wondered and
eat pigs, wear cows and pet dogs?
Yeah, that's the one, isn't it?
Book she's got.
Yeah, she's great.
She's an amazing person.
She is.
Yeah. Everyone leave a like. Please do.
Yeah.
We're always up for more likes. Thank you, Jessie. Veganised, when will your next live chat be? I don't know. I don't like to really schedule things. I like to go with the flow, and I'm trying to do 2 videos a week, so it all depends when I have those edited and uploaded and optimised.
We can always do them around my house as well at some point.
Yeah, we want to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try for a week or 2 to do a video or a stream. The stream may only be like an hour, you know, potentially, because I need to put time into editing videos. But I just want to see if I do more uploads or streams, does that help push my videos out better?
I'm on my course on Saturday all day, so you could stream before I get back on Saturday.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll want to after I get back. I'll be knackered.
Yeah.
Just putting that out there.
You could live stream the cube. That'd be visually pleasing.
Yeah, we did some live streaming from the city centre before, didn't we? Is that Saturday, is it?
Yeah. 1 till 4.
That's a thought.
I might live stream it as well because I'll have more data by then.
Yeah. Can we nip onto people's Wi-Fi at like Starbucks or whatever?
There's a Norwich,
Yeah.
there's a Norwich City Centre Wi-Fi.
Ah,
you can
yeah.
go to.
There is.
Is that good?
I don't know.
It's alright. It's intermittent. It's okay for live streaming.
Is it?
I've done it before.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, maybe we'll do that then. Veganize, what's your take on coconut oil? Do you use it all? You can use it topically. It's good as a after sun or like a sunscreen or a moisturizer. You don't absorb, so it's very high in naughty saturates. It's worse than beef fat for raising your LDL cholesterol, so worse for your heart health. So you don't eat it, whatever you do. And again, oils are bad in a lot of other ways as well. It looks as though a little coconut flesh with the fat inside the fibre. Epidemiologically, looking at studies of populations, it looks like it's not harmful probably, but I'm suspicious. I'm very suspicious. I wouldn't have more than a tiny little bit, to be honest. But that's going against what Dr. Gregor says, so and I normally never do that.
Never
So
go against him.
I don't want to say that I know better than him. Amy's saying, thank you. Mine is motivation does not come before action.
Ooh. I don't
Sounds
know if I
legit.
agree with that. Motivation does not come before action. I mean, it kind of does. Can you explain more?
Rosa, I had something about that Berkeley hat that it will be the first vegan city.
You read that as hat, I think.
That.
Oh, yeah.
I heard something about Berkeley that it will be the first vegan city. I don't even know where Berkeley is.
Berkeley, don't know.
I don't really know. Where is that? Veganize, please get Goji Man on your live chat.
Who?
Yeah, who is that?
I like
guess
his
it's called
name.
Goji Man.
Goji Man. I'm going to do a Google.
One healthful thing in eggs
Yes.
is zeaxanthin, the yellow pigment in the yolk.
Oh, yeah.
However, goji berries have 100 times the zeaxanthin of eggs.
Oh, I need to remember that. That'd be well good.
Yeah.
Bring out the bag.
Manus, does Dublin have a veg fest?
Goji Man is the leading vegan and plant-based nutrition blog.
Oh.
Cool. GojiManNutrition.com.
Happy Pear.
Don't know on the Dublin Veg Fest.
Don't know. I think so. Yeah, there's one over there somewhere. Anyway. Jesse, Pizza Hut is going to use vegan cheese across the UK soon. Yeah, they're staying.
Yeah, they finally got on
There was
board,
a
didn't
demand.
they? They were saying that they'd never do it. There's not a demand for it. Well, look at you now.
Yeah. I showed you.
Amy's off. It's leg day tomorrow. She needs her sleep.
Hi, Amy.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for coming on. She's a lovely person. Manus is saying bananas. Richard Carter is not talking to us. Cheese and ZZ is and ask is better. I like the one in ZZ. It's rice based, isn't it?
Yes.
Nice rice. I feel like I'm hogging the.
How long are we going for?
I don't mind really.
I need to go home soon.
I'll tell you what, we'll do another minute and a half because
Okay.
that'll be 2 hours.
Excellent.
Last minute and a half. Get your questions in. Go.
Okay.
Quick fire.
Oh, God.
Quick fire round.
Did you read that? Nina Nathan, thank you for that inspirational message. It made me feel like crying and I said yes out loud for some reason. What do you think are the best ways to make a presentation inspirational/effective?
I think just speak from the heart.
Yeah, believe in what you're saying.
When you're speaking from the heart, like for my speech, I'm talking about how the vast majority of our friends and family members are going to die at their own hands because of what they put in their mouths. And when I've practiced that before, I've welled up a little bit sometimes. If it's your truth, people will see that and it will come out, you know. So speak about the aspect that makes you most, you know, like alive and emotional.
Vegan Extremist said, do you have advice for Americans who want to become British?
Move here. And
I love that question so much.
And speak weirdly.
Just listen to British music and I don't know. Also very British like mentality thing.
Drinking tea.
Tea.
Cup of tea.
Swap coffee and soda for
Saying
tea.
sorry to everything and everyone.
Apparently,
when you bump into them.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Acquaint yourself with cucumber sandwiches.
Passive aggressive tutting when people cut in line.
And go like this when you're drinking tea.
Yeah.
And only drink tea.
You got it.
Earl Grey.
No, you're British.
Patrick says, show your guns, bro.
Gainesville, mother alpha.
What is this?
That's something that bodybuilders sort of say in forums, saying that they're admiring your physique, but it doesn't mean that they're gay.
No homo. Love it.
So sometimes the YouTube will hide comments
That's
if they're
really
potentially
yeah, okay.
a bit naughty.
Offensive.
I don't
No
think that was
homo.
offensive.
I think we're up to
I
date,
think
yeah.
that's humorous. Oh, well, that's
Yeah.
a good time to
That's it.
sign off.
Amazing.
Nice. If you're new here and you want to learn all about how to have the healthiest, fittest body while not harming animals and not destroying the planet, consider subscribing. Click the bell notifications so you're informed of new uploads and obviously these live streams.
And don't forget to subscribe to Rebecca Pawsey.
Show me some love on my channel, which
But
is
we'd really-
Rebecca Pawsey.
We'd really love to have you become part of the Hench Herbivore community.
Yeah.
And make sure you buy one of these t-shirts or vests. Link in the description. Give us your money, I say give us your money.